My pigs are making a bunch of noise because I just fed them. But I want you to hear the whirring of the frogs. Stopped. This area is so wet, and it's something unusual is going on there. It doesn't run away. It's like it's level. I'm sorry that maybe you got to hear a little bit of that whirring right at the start. I don't know why they got so quiet. They were whirring really loud. Maybe the pigs changed it. I'm sort of sneaking up on a frog. See if I can zoom in on him. Now this is clear up on the hillside. This would normally not be wet at all up here. It would be dry. But you see this, I've introduced water. He's not the only frog up here either. I've seen some other ones too, and he's a good sized one. He's certainly not a spring peeper. See the trench royals brimming? These are the whirrers, but they're quiet now. And there's the salamander, or newt maybe I should call him. This is full of life up here now. That's where I was, but I found this interesting. This looks to be a piece of ceramic. Yeah. What's it doing here in the middle of the field? Now I'm coming along the Trench Royal, the Eastern Canal, but I'm thinking you can maybe see those. Those are hatchlings from frogs' eggs. And there's some of the remains of the frogs' eggs. They are very temperature dependent, I think. See all this oil slick that could look so disturbing? Oh, something horrible's buried there. As I've said before, I don't think so. I think that's bacteria working on the iron ore that's everywhere here. And I actually think it's probably a very good thing, because that iron ore is being converted into something living. The blossoms have mostly, or a lot of them, have fallen from the autumn olive trees. Pigs still browse on them though. Well, I don't know if they do off the ground, but they do up here. I'm going to come along with the big pruning shears and do some more pruning. When the pigs have that piece of grass sawed, ripped up and eaten, I'll think, okay, maybe they're getting hungry now. But it's a little hard to judge, you know, how hungry they are. They'll eat corn whether they're hungry or not. Here's kind of an abiding question. Is this better, or is this okay, to have the pigs having rooted up all that sod on the left, and this is the way it would look otherwise, or looking up close? You see a lot of it's moss, because there's just almost no soil here. It's right down to the rock, largely because of the miners, I suppose, clearing it off. But I think this is, from what I've learned reading in the last couple of years, I think this is probably a good thing, because they're starting a process for other kinds of weeds to get in there, and they'll go down into the rock, and along with the bacteria, the microorganisms that accompany them, they'll start to bring fertility up in a very slow process. This is also fine, but it's often called sod bound. We'll see as it develops. It's on a contour. And one of the reasons, I don't explain this very often, but one of the reasons I'm doing with the pigs is so that I can reestablish my zanjas, my contour ditches, and make new ones. Because the one thing there's no doubt that life needs is water. I can come up here and show you where, since this is so short, this is goat pasture now, and this is so short, I can show you where I've gone through here. This is 40 years ago, with zanja digging. At that time it was cow pasture, and it was so dry. I mean, there was no problem, and I didn't have to have the sod rooted up or anything. It was bone dry. But anyway, here you can see this is a 40-year-old zanja de infiltración, and it's been working the whole time. In a heavy rain, it prevents the water from rushing down the hill. Here's another one. I had this whole hilltop, I have it, the whole thing irrigated that way, right up to where those two goats are. Above that, only approximately. Here's a little bit of water arriving at the aqueduct, and even going into the aqueduct. This is the aqueduct. Where that orange tub is halfway across it. See, it rained pretty hard yesterday, and now I'm going to head up, as I usually do on a water walk, and see if I can unblock it and help it very much. But I've been working on it a little bit every day, and the water's been slowly working this way. There's Jim and Jam. This is how far I had the water yesterday. I'll go up here just a little bit further to get my hoe. I've got a shovel. I'll keep filming if it's not too far. I keep a hoe up here, so I've got the right tool to clean these. I put it down. Oh, there it is. That's actually how far I had the water yesterday. I put Jim and Jen there because that's how far it had been. What I did yesterday, I came up here and I found the water was way back. It had lost a lot of ground, and it was because of something all the way back at the weir. So I went up there and worked on the weir a little bit to get a better water supply. And now the water's coming again, plus that rain.